If I want to talk about failures I faced in this year, uh, there are two major failures. First one is BRC exam. I was very much confident about my preparation and the interview, and there are some unfortunate things happened during my interview, and that ruined my interview, you can say. So finally, I thought that I would be qualifying the examination, and that will be a very good future for me. BRC examination, BRC scientist, right? I prepared a lot for that. Second unfortunate thing was geoscientist main examination. Uh, BRC examination interview and geoscientist examination mains exam was within 15 days gap. BRC examination interview was in Bombay, geoscientist examination was in Delhi. And the time in which I had both this examination and interview, that time, very much train accidents were going on in India. Okay, the train accident in Odisha and the train accident in South India. There are a lot of train issues was going on, and I can't afford to travel in flight, so I had to travel the train only. So with much fear in my mind, I went for interview, and it took 2.5 days to reach Bombay and 2.5 days to reach back to my house. So some unfortunate things happened in my during my interview. For that, I could not qualify the examination, could not qualify the interview. And if you can't qualify the final interview, so overall, uh, it has no meaning at all, right? So this is one of my failure. And before that, before the BARC examination, BRC examination interview, whenever I have sit in any interview, I have qualified those. It was my first failure. And in previous examinations, this is not an examination, this is interview. I have not um, faced any failure in my life earlier. Every examination I have said, every interview I have said, I have qualified that and with a very good score and rank. And this was my first failure. And when I could not see my name in the list, mm, the first feeling I got, that is, someone is slapping me and saying that you are not good enough to be a scientist. You are not good enough to be a scientist, because this is the meaning of uh, your name not in list. You are not capable enough to be a scientist. The first impression was this, and I was very much sad for some days, because I was very much confident. Because in a BRC interview, 5 chapters you have to prepare, and I have prepared them very well. Uh, but some bad things happened during interview and before the interview also, and those things were very much unfortunate, I would say. I will discuss this later in some later session, but that was very much unfortunate. From the morning of the interview day, negative things started to happen in BRC center itself, and that dropped my confidence also. But my interview was long enough, and the discussion was positive, and I answered almost so many questions I have answered correctly. Some questions obviously I could not, but overall I could not qualify the examination, and this was the first interview in my life I could not qualify, and it took me quite long time to digest that it's just an examination, it's just an interview. And for example, they will take 15 students only, and obviously deserving candidates must be more than 15, but they have to take 15 students only, so some student will definitely get out of the list. And this obviously doesn't mean that mm, I do not deserve it at all. So it took me some days to realize this. I was very much sad for some days. And as you know, the BRC examination and geoscientist main examination was only, you can say, 2 weeks, 9 or 10 days apart. Because in the BRC examination, it is the final stage interview, but for geoscientist examination, it is the second stage. In mains exam, if I qualify, then I have to go for interview. And unfortunately, what happened when I reached from Bombay to my house, due to this long train journey from 1 week, and in between from Kolkata to Bombay, because those train accidents, so many trains get cancelled. It happened that my train is stopping in between some stations, and I was waiting for 6 7 hours. Every passenger in the train waiting in a station for 6 7 hours. Then another train is coming. Then uh, they put those passengers to another train. Those 1 or 2 days extra it took in the whole journey. You can imagine that how disturbing it could be. You have booked one train which will take you from your hometown to Bombay, but for these train issues, etc., train regular train accidents, frequently train accidents, the journey is basically broken. You are going to point A to point B, then point B you are waiting in a station. They kept you waiting, and after that, another train is coming, and all. There was a mess, full mess. So when I reached at home, uh, I got some serious health issues, and almost there was a situation that I'd be hospitalized. So after that, I was feeling better, and my parents was very much concerned about me because I was very much ill that time. And for mains examination, I had to visit Delhi. One very important point is in pre examination, the city you mentioned for geoscientist examination, your main exam will be on that city only. So in pre examination, I was in Delhi, but during the main examination, I was in home. So for main examination, I had to go to Delhi again. But with those health issues, it was not possible for me to go to Delhi. And finally, I could not appear for mains examination. And I almost I covered the syllabus. I purchased books also, specific books also from where the questions come, previous year questions also, everything almost I did. But unfortunately, I could not sit in the examination. And here also, uh, for some days, I thought that I don't deserve these positions. So this was, you can say, failure, biggest one of the biggest failure in this year. And this exam was the first exams where I failed, uh, where I could not qualify the final stage, and it was first time. First time failure hits a lot because actually habit of getting fail is very much essential, and I was not aware of, or I was not habituated enough for this. I had not faced any such kind of failure earlier, and first time this failure shocked me a lot. But yes, after those failures, I understood myself in a better way, and I started following my passion. And what I am doing with my passion, or to go to the passion, or pursuing passion, I am not going to tell you. But yes, I am very, very much happy. And I am also guiding you guys. Okay, so this is a kind of happiness. So something happens bad doesn't mean that everything is ruined in your life, but yes, they open another door of your life, and from that door, maybe the world is much more beautiful. I hope so. I hope from this thing you learned something about life. Well, one or two failures doesn't define that what you are going to be or what you are going to do, but they open another kind of door where the world is much more beautiful. This thing You should learn from failure, and I have learned this well. So that's all. This is the failure, and I hope uh, I will get some success, some sort of success on my passion which I am following, and with some success regarding the guidance I'm providing to you in the upcoming year. For then, Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe.